Shout out to these YouTube streets. Shout out to the chat. This is your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa, 914, Essex County, New York. Going live real quick. And as you can see, the title says 3:15 a.m., the BT1000. It's not exactly 3:15 a.m., but I am the BT1000. I told you guys I am no longer the sunrise. I am the sunset. I am the middle of the night. I am 3:15 in the morning. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. I know I went live earlier around 6 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and I decided to go live this morning because I can. Shout out to the chat. Yes, yes, yes. I'm not going to waste my time this morning with these people's foolishness. You know, I went down to the dispatch, and I'm going to tell you something, you guys. You can go to dispatch 2, 3, 4 times a week, and if these motherfuckers want to look over you, even though you might be first on the list, you might be second on the list, you might be fifth on the list. Shout out to the chat. And I don't appreciate people playing me in my goddamn face. I'm sitting right there. I'm asking you, hey, do you got anything going out in a few more minutes? Oh no, I don't have anything right now. I go to sit down, right? This is why I'm not bothering with them today. I go, I sit down, I look at the phone for a few minutes. I might do a couple of posts. Shout out to the chat, because that's my regular. Or I might not post anything. I might play a video game on my phone. Or I might go on Indeed and fill out some more applications while I'm waiting. 5 minutes pass. 2 dudes go to the fucking desk because they've been called up there. All of a sudden, a ticket magically appears. It's magically delicious. So I'm saying to myself, this can't be right. You know what I mean? Now, I know both of them were in front of me earlier, and they was able to tippity type into the tablet to sign in before I did. See, we all stood on the same line. We all stood on the fucking same line. And I know I'm right about that dude that was standing up there getting put on a ticket. This motherfucker was drunk before he left. He had went to the store. He had bought himself a 40 ounce of 211 and was drinking it. Of course, now they're being smart. They're moving from in front of the building to do their dirt, but they come back. You can still smell it. You can still see that they're a little under the influence. This is why so many of our tickets have been lost. Shout out to the chat. So Just Jay, you was right. When I was complaining about this situation yesterday, Just Jay had told me a week ago. She said, Arabia, they're not gonna be sending you out too much. You know what I mean? They looking out for their people. You know what I mean? And I didn't know. Just Jay, I don't know if you in the chat or not. And if you're not here, I know you're gonna catch the replay. Listen to this. I'm gonna tell you exactly what my cousin told me about a couple of weeks ago. Shout out to him. Because he comes back and forth to that particular company to work for them. You know what I mean? I don't know if he went back on his regular job, but I'm going to tell you what he's told me. He said that there's a lot of guys that work for that particular company. And the reason why they don't get fired or they don't get on suspension when they get caught in the wrong or they get caught up in something or they get caught up in the spider's web is because they owe the money. They owe the company money. They owe. They be borrowing money from the owner. Now, I was unaware that some people were borrowing money from the fucking owner until he mentioned it to me. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. That's why they had that room for rent posted for $250 a week. Plus, when you first come in, you got to give them $250, a non-refundable deposit. Shout out to the chat. Hey, Nikki Lee, good morning. Yeah, this is my first time going live like this in a while. Yeah, I decided not to even waste my time this morning. Shout out to the chat. I decided not even to waste my time because I've been down there. I could go 3-4 times out of the fucking week. You know, ain't no way in the world you just skipping over me. Then she gave me this fucking. I love when people lie to me. I love it when people lie to me because then they'll say, "Well, you got some DNRs." DNR means do not return. Well, there's a few people down there that got DNRs and they're able to go out. Shout out to the chat. You know what I mean? So, I'm not even being bothered with them this morning. I'm not even going to be bothered with them this morning. I might go to the other place this morning. I might get up in the next, 2 hours and walk down to the other place. Shout out to the chat, And that's a different ball game if I go down that way. I really don't feel like being bothered with none of them. To be honest. To be truthful and honest, I really don't want to be bothered with none of them. But my man was telling me, he said, if I come next week, because he's going to be over the dispatch, he said he can't guarantee me nothing, but he's going to try to put me on a few jobs next week. Next week, I already know this shit going to be dead. I already know that, so there's no point in him even telling me that. But the lady, I think she going on vacation for 2 weeks. She should have went on vacation. Wait a minute. She just came back from her vacation back in October. How many vacations does this woman need? And she's not doing anything but standing at a fucking desk handing out tickets. Shout out to the chat. She's replacing workers that may not come in. You know what I mean? Fuck that. I don't want nobody's leftovers. And I've been on tickets by myself. Never no fucking problem. So I really don't buy into that fucking excuse. Shout out to the chat. Good morning. We got one in the building. We got Nikki Lee in the building on one line. Thank you, Miss Nikki Lee. I know you're busy. I know you're busy. You probably just working or you're getting up early or, fixing breakfast for your family, whatever the case may be. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate the view. Appreciate you. Yeah. So, yeah, yesterday was Thursday. Now, last night, you guys, it rained. It was threatening to rain all day yesterday. It did rain a little while that morning. By the time I got on the bus to leave to come home, the rain had stopped. It started back yesterday afternoon. Shout out to the chat. And I didn't really realize it was raining until I had pressed the live button. And I was talking to Mrs. Feline. I was talking to Just Jay. I was talking to Mrs. V. I was talking to Juicy Fruit. Shout out to all those young women that was in my chat yesterday. We was having a good time, and I kept listening. I said, "Oh shit, it's raining." So even if I do my regular walk or going to these places, because it rained yesterday. Now, I know there's a lot of people that canceled. They're canceling these jobs. And what they're not also telling you, and in a lot of cases, you go to these construction sites, a lot of the jobs are being shut down by either OSHA or ICE. And when the ICE agents come through, they're coming through to arrest people or take into custody people that are in this country illegally, so-called illegally. All this is some propaganda bullshit started from Trump, but he's not the only one with those attitudes. You know what I mean? How are you going to tell a group of people that they can't be in this country? And they've been here for years, 5 years, 10 years. You know what I mean? They're working, they're paying taxes, they're paying rent. Some of these people got mortgages they're paying. They're paying for their car notes. They're paying for their cars, They're taking care of their family, I don't understand how he can come into the White House, start signing off on all these fucking bills, and tell these people you don't have the right to be here when his people are immigrants. His father and his mother, they're immigrants. They're not Americans. They wasn't born here. They wasn't raised here. And I find it very interesting that there's a lot of these people sitting in places of power who are saying, we don't like this and we don't like that, and they're not true citizens of this country. I believe Donald Trump's wife is a foreigner. So doesn't his executive order also mean the same thing for his wife and whatever children were born from these foreign born women? Shout out to the chat. I mean, come on. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? Shout out to the chat. But Donald Trump has always been a clown. He has always been a clown. And, during the 80s, him and his father, they were over this particular construction company. It was called Trump. And what they were doing, they were building these buildings, and they wasn't allowing black people to move into those buildings. They wasn't allowing them, But I'm not going to sit here and say he's all bad, because I remember when I was living in New York and I was looking for a job, and I was like, well, I could do construction cleanup. And my sister told me, she said, don't apply with Turner, apply with Trump. You know what I mean? But I never did. I ended up working somewhere else. You know what I mean? I ended up doing a different type of job. I worked for the Department of it was like Westchester Department of Shelters. They was over the shelter system. They have a certain division where they over the shelter system, and I was working at one of their sites. It was called the Coachman. It was up there in White Plains, right there on East Road. Up there in White Plains, not too far from the bus terminal. Shout out to the chat. Matter of fact, it's not too far from where the DSS office is. Good morning, Tamika. What is that, Tamika? No. That's G Mama. Good morning, G Mama. G Mama, forgive me. My eyes are blurry. Thank you for coming in. Good morning. Yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye on my chat, G Mama. So right now it's you. It's okay. It's Nikki Lee. It's in the building. And it's G Mama in the building. According to the screen, though, it's 3 in the building, and we got 3 likes. So there's a ghost whisperer somewhere. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, man. So yeah, man. Trump, he's something serious. And he got a lot of policies that should not be policies. But I blame the people that voted in Trump. And those people that voted in Trump, they voted for him for a reason. You know what I mean? They voted for him for certain agendas to be pushed and pressed and all that. And then turn around and these shits that they planned for someone else is being done to them. You know, when I was growing up, I used to hear the saying, when you dig a ditch for someone else, be prepared to fall in it. When you set a trap for someone else, be prepared for you to be caught up in it. Now, I don't know if anybody remembers the Jigsaw franchise, the movie, the Jigsaw movies. They had 1 through 7. I seen 1 through 7, all of them. My favorite character in that whole franchise was Amanda Young. Shout out to Amanda Young, because we all saw her. She was like one of the first Saw victims, but she was able to escape a bear trap. A bear trap was put on her head. There was a timer in it. Her test was to cut open the stomach of her dead cellmate, which is actually a soulmate. And when she went to cut the key out of his stomach, what happened? He woke up. Did she stop or did she keep going? She kept going. She killed him to get to that key. She moved very quickly. She had got the bear trap off of her head just in time. Shout out to the chat. But I brought her up because Amanda was a very interesting character. Amanda Young. I'm mentioning the character. I'm not mentioning that the fact that she was played by Mrs. Smith. I forget her first name. Shout out to the chat. Hey, Juicy Fruit. Good morning, Juicy Fruit. Juicy Fruit. Good morning, Juicy Fruit. Hey, shout out to my chat. So we got what? Wait a minute. That looked like. Hold on, you guys. Okay, we got Nikki Lee and we got Juicy Fruit in the chat, right? Now I'm trying to read this other Garrett. It's always some kind of throw. I didn't read the thing correctly. I need my glasses. Hey, Juicy Fruit. Nikki Lee, Juicy Fruit. And that's good. I read the name wrong. Forgive me, G Mama. I'm thinking of G Mama. That's scary, James. They're beating me. Oh, I didn't look at the avatar. What happened? What's going on? What's going on with my eyesight? What the hell is happening? Oh. Yeah, Juicy Fruit and Nikki Lee and Gary James from the Meat Man. Oh, Lord. Oh, that cut my spirit. Cut my wisdom. I'm not going to be up here that long, but I just wanted to come through. Yeah. Now, we was talking about the Amanda Young character that was in the Jigsaw movie. She was in all of them, actually. When she was in the first one, the second one, and the third one. And the third one, Amanda was killed. Amanda was set up. But even from the grave, Amanda was able to still work her tricks into the games. Shout out to the chat. Yo, that was really fucked up how Amanda ended up getting killed. That was fucked up. What happened to Jigsaw's wife, Jill Tucker, because she wasn't even given a test. She was just plain out killed in cold blood. And then the doctor, one of the doctors that Jigsaw had kidnapped, he had to come back and avenge Jill Tucker. And the games just went on and on and on. But you learned something from each game. And in some of the games, you are told or you are taught or is pushed or the emphasis is there that in order for you to survive, someone else has to be sacrificed. Someone else has to be pushed out of the way, in those movies. Sometimes you can't think about the other person. You got to think about yourself. You know what I mean? I don't mean no harm. I wish these people would think more of themselves than of doing the dirty shit they're doing at that fucking office. You know what I mean? Word. Using these guys. There's a place that they're renting a room for $250 a week. A room. You get to share the kitchen, the living room, I guess the bathroom space or whatever the case may be. You're paying $250 a week, plus you're paying a $250 deposit. It's non-refundable. When someone tells me something is non-refundable, it means that they're pulling a scam. It means don't even go into that situation. Because I've been in places in New York where they rent out rooms and boarding houses and you don't have to pay no fucking deposit. The only thing you have to make sure you can pay is that first month rent, that second month rent, and that third month rent. So if you're renting a room in New York, and especially if you're renting a room, like there's some places in Westchester County, you might be renting a whole room, and the room is what 500. You're paying 500 a month. Some rooms are 800 a month. A room, not an apartment, a room. I'm talking about the boarding house situation. We got 4 in the building. We got 5 likes. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, that's Gary Davis, the meat eater. Yo. And I was just looking at a video that Sis had did. Even though I don't agree with certain stuff that Sis be doing, I still watch sometimes. Not all the time, but he was doing a reaction to Iceberg's video, that a video that Iceberg did earlier this week. Shout out to Iceberg. Shout out to Iceberg Thoughts. Yeah, y'all go over there and sub up to Iceberg Thoughts if you have not already done it. And shout out to Iceberg. I wish I had one of my moderators in here. They would drop his link. Iceberg Thoughts. Yeah, shout out to him. You know, I like Iceberg. You know what I mean? Because he does all kinds of content. He'll talk about this sector. Then he'll talk about the sports situation. And then he'll talk, you know, he might talk about current events. He might give the history of this sector. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind exchanging notes with Iceberg, like doing a live, and Iceberg hit the link, and then when we talk about the sector for a little bit, we'll give a little. He'll give his history, and I'll be able to give my history and give my point of view. You know, shout out to the chat. You know, it is what it is. I like Iceberg. He's a smart dude. He's fair-minded. And, you know, it's all good and fun. You know what I mean? He makes you think. Thaddeus. Shout out to Thaddeus. Y'all go over there and sub up to Thaddeus. Thaddeus is another good one. In a few more days, ladies and gentlemen, I am very proud to announce that Vince the Sniper will be going live. We only have a few more days as he will reappear on the stage of the YouTube street. Shout out to the Sniper. Shout out to Vince the Sniper. Y'all go over there and sub up to Vince. Yes. But I believe he's coming. He's going to be using his new channel. And I got to get the name of that channel. Oh, that mercy. Does anybody know the name of? I'll get it. I'll get it from somebody. One of my moderators will probably know which channel I'm talking about. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, Miss Juicy Fruit. Hey, Miss Juicy Fruit, did you hear the song I was able to make out of the short video that came out of yesterday's video? And they only do it for the highlights. There's this thing that they got with the YouTube. When you press the YouTube live button, let's say you go live, right? There's going to be a video highlight in it. And it's going to have like a small clip. You can take the small clips and make those into songs. And YouTube does it automatically. They give you different choices. They give you the mood that the song is in, and then they'll have the lyrics, and then they give you like different choices of who you want to sing that song and what do you want it to sound like. And then once it's done, once you've made your choice, it uploads it, and then you can post it on your channel. Shout out to the chat. Yo, that's a very good feature. A lot of the YouTube creators need to start using that feature, especially if you're monetized. Soulfly would be so great if she's great right now, but her videos would pop even more if she do that. If she uses her highlights. Cause I love it when she says that word. She said, have mercy. I love it when she says that. Shout out to her. Shout out to Soulfly. Yeah. Yesterday I saw a brown skinned lady and Just Jay's chat. You know, they talk bad about Just Jay, but at the end of the day, Just Jay can pull a crowd. It doesn't matter what she's talking about. Just Jay can actually pull a crowd and hold a crowd. Shout out to her. And shout out to Brown Skin Lady for being in the chat. I didn't see Frank Nitti. I don't know where he went. I don't know where Frank Nitti went yesterday. We got 2 in the building. We got 5 likes. That's okay. Shout out to the 2 that's in the building. We got 3 in the building. Shout out to the chat. Yeah. So yeah, Miss Juicy Fruit. Yeah, that was a good live yesterday I did, even though it wasn't very long. I don't think this video right here is gonna be very long. You know, I try to keep it under an hour, especially if I'm not walking nowhere. Especially if I'm not walking anywhere or anything like that. So, you know. I know today is Friday. I really don't feel like putting up with these people's bullshit. You know, because like I said, you could show up down there all fucking week, sign in. You could be like the first one online. She gonna do the repeat tickets. And if, let's say somebody don't show up, whatever. Let's say that you're on the list, right? And she may not want to pick you that day. She might want to pick someone else, you know, to go on the ticket. But like I said, a lot of those people don't need to go on no ticket. They need to be in a rehab somewhere. And I even though I posted what I posted yesterday, right? Someone had the nerve to go to that video and they was like, oh, well, this person actually needs help and X, Y, and Z. Let me tell you something. Number one, I'm not a social worker. Number two, some of these people are older than me. They're older than me. Okay? And number three, half of these people talking about and that sort of a light, they don't want any help. They don't want any type of assistance. There's 2 different organizations down there that's located in downtown Charleston that they help the homeless, that they help the people that are on some kind of substance. They got hospitals down there. You can walk into a hospital right now and tell them, you don't necessarily have to say, look, you got a substance abuse problem. And I have done it myself. You can actually walk into a hospital and say, look, I feel like I'm in danger to myself and to others. And they will put you up in the hospital. They will send a social worker around. They will evaluate you. They will do the blood work and all that. And if you got any kind of alcohol, anything in your system, they're going to come to you. They're going to address the problem. They're going to offer you some type of treatment. And a lot of these people in this fucking area do not go to fucking treatment. And I have been to rehab twice in my life. I have been to psychiatric hospitals twice in my fucking life. Shout out to the chat. Because I know any kind of situation that might appear in my life that might be out of control for me, I know where to go to fucking help. And I've done it before. I've been through therapy from 17 till I was 41. Shout out to the chat. So I know when people want help, and I know when people don't want fucking help. And a lot of them niggas don't want to go to a fucking shelter because they don't want to go by certain rules. They don't have to pay any rent to the shelter. You get 3 meals a day. Now, from what I understand, they don't even make these people go out and look for a job. You can lay in bed all fucking day. Tell me if that's getting help or not. Shout out to the chat, because when I was in a fucking shelter somewhere, if you wasn't in a fucking daytime program for your substance abuse problem or your mental health problem, you was out looking for a fucking job. Shout out to the chat. Or you was doing pride and work. See, a lot of people, they be in the street, they don't want help. They don't want fucking help. A lot of them that are homeless, running around wearing them fucking book bags, they don't know that's a target on their fucking back. I know what it is. Shout out to the chat. And when they get stopped by the police, 9 times out of 10, it's not because they're sitting somewhere. It's because they got a fucking open container. And they're given the opportunity then to get some help. A few nights ago, there was a woman shelter. All the woman shelters in this area was open. Why didn't these people ask the people for help then? They were going back and forth to the woman shelters. They got social workers up in there. They got case managers work up in there. You don't know who you're going to run up against. But no, these people are fucking lazy. They're shiftless. And they don't want to get no help because they don't want to follow nobody's rules. And that's the honest to goodness truth. So for that person that wrote that in my comment section, I thank you for writing it, but you're fucking wrong. And I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I've been living on this earth for 52 years. I know when people want help and when people don't want help. And when people just want to dick around and fuck up everything and fuck up everybody's lives in the meantime. And shout out to the chat. And that's reality. We got a lot of haters in the world, man. These people's actions ripple out to the rest of us. So of course I'm not going to feel sorry for them. When I see you in the fucking office and I see you with them fucking book bags on your back and I see that you're running back and forth to a fucking store to buy you some fucking beer to drink on a fucking bus stop bench. Half of these bus stops you can't even sit at no more because motherfuckers are too busy getting fucked up. Last week, I was waiting on the bus. I was waiting on the 10 bus to go fucking home after being on a fucking job all fucking day and is fucking drunk. He gets up there, he drinks. I don't know what he was drinking, but I know he was out there all fucking day because you've seen him laughing and talking up with his fucking friends. What the fuck happened? The man ended up falling out. The man ended up hitting his head. And the same people he was sitting with didn't even want to call 911. It took the rest of us to get the fucking phone, to call 911, to get him a fucking ambulance, while the rest of his drunk ass buddies was sitting there and acting all stupid like they didn't know what the fuck was going on. That's why you gotta watch the company you fucking keep. You gotta watch the fucking company you fucking keep. Because I'm gonna tell you something about people. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. I'm gonna tell you something about people. Don't matter how old they are. People are very quick to get you involved with some fucking trouble, with some fucking drama. And when it's time to help you out or time to look out for you, all of a sudden they don't fucking know you. All of a sudden you become fucking Peter. They become the Judas and you become fucking Peter. Oh, excuse me. You become Jesus Christ. So you had Judas that betrayed Jesus, and you had Peter that denied Jesus. And Jesus, I'm going to tell you something about Jesus. Issa, as I was reading the Bible one particular day, I discovered a scripture where Jesus was talking before he was executed on the crucifix. I discovered it because it was in the Bible, and I was starting to read it because I was looking for answers for certain things. But anyway, let's go on with the story. I don't want to cut my own wisdom. And in the story, Jesus told Judas, go quickly, do what you must do, because he knew that Judas was going to betray him. So Jesus and the rest of the disciples end up leaving out of that hall that they were in after they was eating and enjoying their wonderful meal. And some stuff was brought up, and Jesus told Peter, and Peter was like, and Jesus and Peter was in the conversation, and Peter said, well, Jesus, I'll always rock out with you. You know, I'll never leave you. You my homeboy. You my home team. I got your back. You know what Jesus told him? He said, Peter, stop fucking lying. Stop fucking lying, because Peter, you're going to deny me 3 times. 3 times you're going to tell the people you don't fucking know me. And guess what happened? When Jesus got arrested by the people that arrested him, they were taking him away. Other people that was in the crowd, they noticed Peter. And they said, hey, ain't you one of the dudes that was rocking out with this dude? And he told them no. They asked him 2 more times. He denied Jesus 3 times. The crow sounded, and Peter was there looking stupid. Shout out to the chat. Because then the words of Jesus came back to him and said, you will tell the people you don't know me. You will deny me 3 times. How many times have you gotten into a situation and the people you were floating with, all of a sudden, they don't fucking know your name? All of a sudden, they get amnesia. All of a sudden, their mouth is no longer running. All of a sudden, the laughter stops. Shout out to the chat. Your life may be in danger, and the people you're hanging around with will actually sit there and watch you fucking choke. They will sit there and watch you die. They will help you die. That's why I said, watch the company you keep. Watch your cipher. Keep your cipher tight. The closest ones to you will actually fucking hurt you. And that's a reality, because if it wasn't true, where's Sergeant Crystal Reagan? Where's Sierra? Where's Laquan? Where is she? All of them are in a fucking grave. Because a person named John Moses Reagan decided he wanted to kill them. Why? Because she spoke the words, I want a fucking divorce. He couldn't let her just walk away. He killed her. In cold blood. When they found her, she was found face down on her bed, and her cell phone was clutched in her hand. The cell phone was ringing. Who was it that was calling her? It was her mother. Not too long after that, the mother passed away. Shout out to the chat. But I'm just showing you how certain people's actions ripple out. They affect other people. Shout out to the chat. Good morning, Uncle L. Good morning, good morning. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, we got 4 in the building. We got 8 likes. Shout out to the chat. Yeah. I would just, Uncle L, I'd be doing so much talking early in the morning. But one of the things I did iterate and I did say, because someone had wrote in the comment section of one of my videos I posted yesterday. It was a short video, and it was about one of my coworkers who obviously got a drinking issue because he went on a job last week, Uncle L. The guy got drunk. The guy ended up falling asleep. The guy, he was left job, so he stayed at that job site all night. And the only thing that fucks with me and that fucks me up about these people that I work for is that they will send someone like that out on a job instead of giving them some kind of resource to go get some kind of help for their substance abuse problem, because it's out of hand for some people. And I just posted it. Somebody got mad and they made a comment, and I responded, and I told the person, I said, obviously you don't know what you're talking about, because there's plenty of organizations down here located and where we're at that helps people with substance abuse problem. And what it is, a lot of people don't want help. A lot of people that's homeless and they're living on the street, they don't want to stop being homeless. You know why? Because they don't want to be faced with some of the issues I'm being faced with. And everyone be faced with it if you're indoors somewhere. You're going to have to pay rent somewhere. You're going to have to pay somebody's utility bill. You're going to have to pay. And a lot of people that are homeless don't want to get involved with those types of responsibilities. They don't want those types of bills over their head. You could pay the light bill today. Let's say you paid the light bill today, and the bill is not due until the 3rd. Let's say you paid early. Okay, they receive the payment. All of a sudden, 5 days later, you get another bill, and it might be for the same amount that you just paid. There's a lot of people, when they go through some stuff like that, they can't take it. And a lot of people end up being back homeless. You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck. If it's too much, and you can take it down to the place, one of them places downtown, and they'll pay it for you. Or they'll pay half of it for you. Shout out to the chat. But at least the lights will remain on. You know what I mean? Word. There's a lot of people out here in the so-called free world that don't understand that there's other avenues of getting help. You know what I mean? Word. And a lot of them dudes that I work with, a lot of them got substance abuse problem. And a lot of them don't want to address their problem at all. And even though it made them homeless, they would rather stay in the situation. They don't want help. They don't want help. Last week, I was on my way home. This had to been like between 6 o'clock and 6:30. I had to get on my phone, call 911 for an ambulance to come. It was a few of us standing there. We wasn't a part of the problem, but the problem was sitting all around the dude that had fell out from drinking all fucking day, and his friends were surrounding him, but they wasn't helping him. They was screaming, they was hollering, it was confusion, it was chaos, it was anarchy. None of them had a fucking phone. None of them had a fucking phone. That's why I keep telling people, watch the fucking company you fucking keep. Because these are the people that are actually going to help push you into a fucking morgue somewhere. They're not going to help. They're not going to put no food in your house. They're not going to give you any bus money to go anywhere. They're not going to help you with nothing. But they will help you go to the fucking morgue. And all of a sudden, when you end up in the fucking morgue, none of your family members know you. So now your fucking body is sitting up there for maybe a month or two, and then all of a sudden, the body disappears. The organs disappear. Shout out to the chat. But people don't fucking know nothing. People don't fucking know you when it's time for them to know you. I remember when Sergeant Crystal Reagan and them passed away, and I remember reading the newspaper report about it. I said, no way in the world those people in those other apartments didn't hear something. No way in the world. People from the South are the nosiest motherfuckers I know. Ain't no way in the world none of them heard nothing. They heard, they saw, they didn't say nothing. When they should have been snitching, they wasn't snitching. I'm going to put it like that. Got a lot of nosy neighbors hanging around. They won't call if they see someone killing you, but they'll call if you're on your phone and you're too loud. Shout out to the chat. So we got 4 in the building. We got 4 likes. Oh, excuse me. We got 9 likes. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to those that hit the like button. Hit the like button on your way and Coco Tasso the like button. Coco Tasso the like button, please. Thank you. Shout out to the chat. I appreciate it. Yeah. So, yeah, that's how people are. That's the way I deem people as being. They will actually watch you destroy yourself and they won't say anything. They will laugh. They will be a part of the fucking problem. They will actually laugh at you. Remember that movie? Carrie? And Carrie was getting ready to go to the dance and her mother kept telling her, they're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you. When it ended up happening? She ended up going to the prom, going to the dance, being voted in as homecoming queen, and then they pulled that bucket of pig blood on her and her date. The date got knocked out because the bucket fell on his head, and she stood there. And what were the people in the audience doing? They were laughing. They were laughing at Carrie. And what did Carrie do? Carrie responded. Carrie put that powwow out there. And everything started setting on fire. She made sure she closed the windows. She made sure those doors locked. She made sure nobody could get in and nobody could get the fuck out. And when she finished destroying the ones that laughed, she walked out and the door closed behind her. How many of us are going to be victorious like Carrie? And I don't mean no harm, you guys. I wish I had them kind of powers. Technicolexia or whatever it was. I know I'm mispronouncing it. But would nobody be able to escape? Somebody laughing at me like that? Or somebody did something to me that's fucked up? Just to tell my mind, to tell everything around me, yo, shut that down. Lock that. Make sure nobody get out. Y'all want to laugh? We'll show you how to fucking laugh. And she put them all to sleep. She turned off all their fucking TVs. But the only fucked up thing about it is when she left the school, when she left that area and she went back home and she took a bath, she washed all the blood off, she threw away the dress, whatever the case might have been, whoop-de-whoop. The mother had came from her hiding place and stabbed Carrie. Carrie was injured. The mother ended up dying, and Carrie didn't survive too much longer after that. To the chat. I guess she couldn't stand the feeling of being alone in the world by herself, because actually it was only her and her mother left out of that whole family. Shout out to the chat. I'm talking about the movie Carrie. Shout out to the young man that wrote the story, Stephen King. Shout out to him. I hope he's still living. Last time I looked, he was in one of the It movies, one of the recent ones they had came out with. Shout out to Stephen King. He has written plenty of good movies and plenty of good books. One of my favorite was Misery. It's one of my favorite movies. Shout out to the chat. It's just certain movies that I automatically, whoever the villain is, I automatically empathize with them. I don't empathize or sympathize with their victims too much. I automatically empathize with the villain or with the person that they say is a villain, because there's usually a backstory as to why they became who they became. Shout out to the chat. Yeah. Look at the world, man. And I just recently posted on my channel the vampirism I see in the sector, the cannibalism I see in the sector. I'm not saying people are doing it physically. I'm saying they're doing it on a mentally and a spiritual level. Shout out to the chat. Good morning, Holly Favored. Shout out to you. So we got 4 people in the building. We got 10 likes. Shout out to Holly Favored, Uncle L, Juicy Fruit, and Garrick Chavis, the meat meter. And Nikki Lee. Shout out to Nikki Lee. Nikki Lee was first in the building. Shout out to her. Yeah. So I was just telling everybody the situation, what happened at the office yesterday, how everything is coming to a head, and how certain people in that company, they owe money to the owner. And I didn't know until very recently that there's some guys that actually work for the company, and the reason why they're picked for certain jobs is not because they're good workers, it's because they owe the company money. They owe the owner money. Yeah, there's a lot of people, obviously, that borrows money from the people we work for. Shout out to the chat. So there's a lot of underhand and undercover bullshit going on. Word. That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it, and that's the gist of it. And that the whole office, if anyone ever looks at any of those postings that I post, you will see a dispatch waiting area that's in need of being cleaned. They don't clean the place. They don't have an operational bathroom. The bathroom is not in order. That bathroom has been broken for over 5 years. The bathroom broke, I remember, back in 2017, and this is what, 2025. We getting ready to go to 2026. And whenever I go to that office, let's say I got to go to the bathroom, I can't go there in the office. I got to leave outside and go down the street and go to a restaurant or go to one of those hotels that's up there on Meeting Street and then go to the bathroom. Come back, somebody already on the ticket that I was supposed to get. How did the person get on the ticket? Oh, well, you wasn't here. I left to go to the bathroom because y'all don't have one. Shout out to the fucking chat. And that's the truth of it. It's like little things that they do that just ain't right. And when you call them out on the shit, they want to get mad and they want to get fucking emotional. That's supposed to be a place of business. And motherfuckers come in there, they lay down on the fucking floor. They're all over the floor. They're all over the fucking benches. And nobody's saying any fucking thing. And I say something. I tell them, this don't look like a place of business. This look like a fucking homeless shelter. And the same people that's laying up in there, like the way they doing, they should be in a homeless shelter, but they don't want to go. You know why they don't want to go? Because they don't want to listen to someone else's rules. That's why. They got plenty of programs for them to go to. They don't want to go. That's why, I don't mean no harm. New York is better suited with dealing with homeless people and people that got substance abuse problem because they got more programs. There's more housing programs available. When I was living in Yonkers, you know how many transitional housing places was in Yonkers? You got Travis House. You got Broadway Manor. You got the church itself. They're all over. They're all over Yonkers. I only mentioned 3. There's plenty more. Travis House and Broadway Manor are the most popular because they're the 2 biggest houses. Broadway Manor is right there on North Broadway. I lived there for 18 months. I lived there for 18 months before I went and got my own apartment up there on Saratoga. I used to live on South Broadway. I used to live on Nepperhan Avenue. So I know what it feels like to be in a certain situation, but I don't sit in the situation. I try to go in and do something about it. Other people don't do that. They rather not have the headaches. They rather not be bothered with a landlord somewhere. They rather not deal with their neighbors. Shout out to the chat. And that's a fucking reality. Word. And I keep telling people, watch the company that you keep. Watch the company that you keep. Because the same people you breaking bread with are the same people that'll lift their heels against you. Birdman, there was a certain Bible verse. Birdman, he loved that Bible verse. He loved the Bible verse. And I believe it's in Psalms. It's Psalms 41. And in that particular book, in that chapter, they talk about people breaking bread with you, eating with you, communing with you, and then all of a sudden they turn against you. There's a story in the Bible where I believe God was bragging to Satan, the devil, aka the devil. These are just stories to me. But God was in the Bible and he was bragging to Satan. It's just like me coming to Uncle L. I'm start bragging to Uncle L. Yeah, Uncle L, I got a good girlfriend. You know, she got a fat ass. She know how to cook. Yo, I just love being with her. Oh, Uncle L this, Uncle L that. And then Uncle L, and Uncle L, he don't praise the woman. Uncle L, I'm just using you as an example. He don't praise the woman. He said, Ray, that lady's a trick. That lady's a whore. He said, test her. Test her around some of your male friends. See what happened. And sure enough, the bitch fall for it. Now I'm sitting up there with fucking egg on my face. And I'm like, damn, I should have listened to Uncle L. Gosh darn. I'm just using Uncle L as an example. And that's what God was doing in the Bible. He was bragging to the devil. He said, yo, I got this homeboy. His name is Job. And Job is he's the best. He's the best of the best, man. I couldn't ask for better. Job got it going on. And the devil told God, said, you think he got it going on, put him to the test. The reason why he got it going on, because you keep looking out for him. You stop looking out for him, he'll curse you to your face. And you see what happened in that story. You see what happened in that story. You know, I'm starting to act like one of my old roommates that I was locked up with when I was in prison. Her name was Johnny May. And Johnny May, I believe I'm the same age Johnny May was back then. Anyway, Johnny May was in there for a domestic violence charge where she killed her boyfriend. And one of the things she kept saying was, Raby, I got a lot of questions about this Bible. And we would stay up all night and we'd be reading that Bible and we'd be talking about the Bible and, you know, and I just found it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of entertainment. Now I'm by myself. Who can I talk to about what I be reading or what I've been discovering? Oh, I know what to do. I'll press the live button. We got two people in the Bible. I'm about to say two people in the Bible. Excuse me. We got two people in the building. Shout out to the chat. Yeah. I know it's early in the morning. Ladies and gentlemen. But this is what I used to do when I used to do the morning walks. I used to go live between 3 o'clock and 3:30 in the morning. Shout out to the chat. You know what I mean? Because yesterday, and like I said, all this week, you know what I mean? And then yesterday it rained, and they'll have some kind of excuse. They'll have something going on, and what it is, a lot of the supervisors, they probably don't need nobody because it's getting close to the holidays, and a lot of these people are getting ready to leave town. A lot of these people getting ready to leave town. They getting ready to close the schools, after this week? After today, actually. These kids won't be back into school until after the New Year's. Shout out to the chat. Because I remember when I was going to school, I was living in New York at the time, and we used to have like Christmas vacation for 2 weeks. When I moved down here into South Carolina, same thing. When I was in school, we would go on Christmas vacation for 2 weeks. And we wouldn't come back until after what? The New Year's. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the childhood memories of Christmas. Watching Christmas Carol and drinking eggnog, you know, as you get older. Not when you're a little kid, as you get older, but the emphasis on religion is pushed on more and more as, you know, time moves on. Shout out to the chat. And I had a brother a brother I grew up with. We have the same mother, the same father, the same grandparents, same great grandparents. We're blood brother and sister. And when he got to the age of, I'm going to say, because I know we were still young, when he started asking questions about the Bible, because he was like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Why God don't look like us? I said, I don't know. He said, why they keep talking about this dude dying on a cross for everybody's sins? Why would God put his son through all that? I said, I don't know. He said, you ever read those other Bible stories? And as he got older, he became a 5%er. He became a 5%er, a poor righteous teacher. So he started getting involved with the lessons that you would find with the Nation of Islam. But he wasn't with the Nation of Islam. He was under a different umbrella of the Nation of Islam, which is the nation of gods and earths, the 5%ers, the poor righteous teachers. Shout out to the chat. The followers of Clarence 13X, aka Father Allah. Shout out to the chat. And my brother became involved with that. And he used to share his knowledge. He used to tell us what kind of books he was reading. And then he would let us borrow the books. He had like a little library. And we would come and, borrow the books. And he'd be like, don't read it all at one time. Or if you're like in the middle of reading it. And then he'll be like wanting to have a discussion. And sometimes he would put on the Louis Farrakhan VH1 tapes, and he would play Louis Farrakhan all that day, or he would play a speech that Malcolm X had gave a long time ago, or he would play Elijah Muhammad giving a speech. You know what I mean? Because they still have the tapes. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, I remember that. And I remember reading those books, and I remember taking in a lot of that information. And there's a young man on these YouTube streets. He's not with the Nation of Islam. I believe he's a Pan-Africanist. And he talks about certain policies that the United States has in place that talks about us, the Black community, us that live in this country. And it's not good stuff. It's not good stuff. Not at all. Shout out to the chat. I've shared his channel. It's on my community wall. I've seen some people in the sector actually in his chat. And, I was like, oh, shit, they're in the chat. Oh, wow, that's cool. And I like that. I like when people in the sector actually, take an interest and they go to other sectors. Maybe they go to another channel that I go to or visit, Shout out to the chat. Holly Favor, you say that's a good idea. What's a good idea? Hey, shout out to the chat. We got 5 in the building. We got 10 likes. Don't forget to hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to the chat. I appreciate it. Yeah. I'm not going to be up here much longer, but I just wanted to come through and say good morning to everyone. It's Friday. It's the beginning of the weekend. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. It is what it is. 914, Westchester County, New York. We are definitely in the house. We're definitely in the house. We don't feel like going through the bullshit today, what we went through most of the fucking work week, And this has happened to me before, You come down there all week and then they might send you out once or twice. What kind of bullshit they got going on? Anyway, I don't feel like going through none of that crap today. Shout out to the chat. So it is what it is. I might put on me another pot of the brown rice. Yo, I fixed the brown rice yesterday, right? Now I cooked it regular. I put the brown rice, right, in the pot, right? And you know how you got it cooking with regular water? So I drained out, well, I didn't have to drain out the water. I let it cook to a certain a level, a certain extent. And I took the rice, I transferred it into another pan, and I put the onion soup in it. Yo, from the can, the Progressive onion French soup. Yo, that shit came out so good. It tasted just like rice-a-roni. I love rice-a-roni. They just went up on the prices on that. The prices of food has definitely gone up. The prices on food has definitely gone up. Shout out to the chat. Yeah. So I think I covered all bases this morning. How long we been up here? Oh shit. We've been up here an hour and 16 minutes. Shout out to the chat. Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna close out this video. They got this thing where they want you to restart your phone. I guess the phone resets itself ever so often with the new software or whatever the case may be. But it's always, when they do that, they always put some apps on there that I don't fucking want. Some kind of gaming apps I don't fucking want. I don't fucking play. I don't look at. There's certain apps in this phone that I absolutely don't even use. We got 5 in the building. We got 10 likes. Holly Favor said, good idea. Holly Favor said, hi. We got Uncle L in the building. We got Juicy Fruit. We got Garrick, Meter Chase. And we got Miss Nikki Lee. Shout out to everyone who came in. Shout out to the Ghost Whisperers, those that are watching from the bushes, that are listening. Shout out to you. Yeah, that name just tickles me. The Garrick Lord, listen. It says Garrick Meter Chaffin. They got the little monkey. Yes. When your channel goes down and when it's banned, it'll have the little monkey up there. I don't want to laugh too much at Lonnie's friends. Lonnie's friends with the stills. Lonnie is still on the list too. Lonnie made the list for the meal ticket. She always makes the list for the meal ticket every time he come out with a new list. Shout out to the meal ticket. Yeah, it's getting ready to be Christmas in a few more days. I hope everyone enjoys their holiday season. Enjoy it while you can. Because for me, Christmas, that was Birdman's birthday. So he's no longer here. And I don't mean no harm, you guys. This is going to sound cold-hearted. But I'm glad he's not here no more. because he's not here to go through none of the pain and suffering he was going through. Shout out to the chat. He's free. He's free of all his worries, all his pains, all his hurts, everything that happened in the past. The only thing that he was really proud about is that he was a military man. That's the only thing he was really proud about. He's a military man, and he got children, and he's got grandchildren. And that's his birthday. Shout out to him. And I remember, what he used to do on his birthday, how he used to like to clean up the house and cook on the grill. And the man, he just loved to cook on the grill all the time. He was a grill cooker. You know what I mean? Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Oh, I wanted to give a special shout out to O Speaks. Yeah, O Speaks. Shout out to O Speaks. For those of you that are not subbed up to him, sub up to him. Yo, last night he was doing a video that was just so beautiful. He was actually drawing a picture of his father. That's what he was doing. And I just love watching people draw and watching people paint. It is such a good feeling. You know what I mean? Because, when I was younger, I used to do a thing called still drawing. I used to do a lot of still drawings back then. And as I got older, I started learning about semi-contour drawing, a blind contour drawing, a gesture drawing, X, Y, and Z. So as I got older, and I used to draw a lot when I was younger. Now, as I got older, I stopped drawing as much. Every now and then, I might jot something down on the piece of paper, but it's not like the way it used to be. It's not that way anymore. Shout out to the, which is kind of unfortunate, but in a way, I enjoyed it when I was young. As I got older, I found it to be more like a chore, almost like that. You know what I mean? And I remember being very frustrated because a couple of years ago I was trying to get my work licensed. Yeah, I was trying to push for my stuff to be used like as a prints on like bed sheets, towels, skateboard, anything in that area. And it's a very frustrating thing, you know what I mean? You're trying to get your stuff out there and someone is telling you, oh, we don't need you right now, or this is kind of good, but, we looking for something more in this other area or whatever the case may be. And I'd be like, yo, these motherfuckers are full of shit. And I did that years ago. I was trying to push my artwork, and I really wanted to get it off the ground while I was still in my 20s. And it just didn't happen for me. You know what I mean? Shout out to the chat. And I started feeling like Adolf Hitler, I started feeling like these motherfuckers, how dare they turn me down? How dare they send me this letter of rejection or whatever the case may be? I thought that was some fucked up shit. You know what I mean? Because I know my shit was good. Shout out to the chat. I've been drawing since I was a little kid. You know what I mean? So as I got older, try to get the stuff pushed out there, try to get my artwork licensed. There is a thing called licensing your artwork and getting it out there to the major market. You're commercialized when you do that, and you make money. Being a storyboard artist is a wonderful idea. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of patience. Shout out to the chat. But that's a good field to go into. You know what I mean? It's some days you're gonna have steady work. You might have steady work. The only thing about the art world, if you go into the storyboard situation, you might be on a project for between 2 months to a year. And then after the year, what do you do after that? That's why it's very important that you get your work copywritten and licensed and pushed in different genres and different areas. Shout out to the chat. If you're gonna do that with your artwork, with commercial design, anything, you know what I mean? Word. So yeah. So it is what it is. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. And I'm out of here. We got 4 in the building. We got 11 likes. Shout out to the chat. Hit the Cash App. 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 I'm out of here, you guys. I want to thank everyone for coming in. I hope everyone has an awesome day. Have an awesome weekend. For those that celebrate Christmas, which I don't celebrate, I don't acknowledge, it's the same every fucking year. This year it's going to be worse. It's going to be 10 times worse than what it was last year. At least last year, Birdman was with me. This year, he's not with me. A few years ago, I still had my cousin Shakira. Shakira's gone. Sergeant Crystal Reagan and the children are gone. My grandmothers are gone. Aunt Ernestine is gone. So it is what it is. Shout out to the chat. We out of here. Have an awesome day, everyone. Stay safe out there. Stay vigilant. Watch your circle. Watch your cipher. Watch the company that you keep. Please. Be careful out there. It is the holiday season. People are looking for a quick lick. Shout out to the chat. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware. Stay vigilant. If you're out shopping or anything like that, do not park your car far away from the store. Do not do that. Especially a lot of you women. Because I don't know if any of you know it or realize it. A few years ago, and I don't know, but they did catch the guy. They did catch him, but there are others. There was a few years ago, there was this dude, and what he used to do, he used to sit in the parking lots of different shopping areas like Walmart and certain grocery stores. And what he would do, he would scope out the women. And he did come across a few who became his victims. He raped them. So I want all of, everyone to be safe. A few years ago, there was this one dude. He is known as the BTK killer. And basically what he would do, he would scope out his victims. And that's why I keep iterating that people be careful. People need to be aware and vigilant about what's going on around them. Shout out to the chat. I'm closing out this video, but I'm not closing out my ideas and my opinions and my point of view. Shall we proceed? In the words of Moonlight, let's read. Let's have a good day, everyone. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to Soulfly. Shout out to Moonlight. Shout out to Brown Skin Lady. Shout out to Miss 504. Shout out to Holly Favored. Shout out to Lonnie One Love. Shout out to Just J. Yo, shout out. Shout out to Vince the Sniper. Shout out to O Speaks. Shout out to Iceberg Thoughts. Yo, shout out to all my YouTube creators, all my subscribers, new and old. Shout out to my support team. Shout out to all my moderators. Shout out to y'all. Bless up, y'all. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Have a good day. Shout out to you. I'm out. Peace.